Dude, I miss John Lennon, man. God.
I know, John Lennon. And
Hey,
what are you trying to convey to me, man? Like, it's just like you miss.
well, this is the thing. This is the thing, man. I see a lot of people jumping around and basically making a lot of promises, and I make my own share of promises and break them, and it just hurts me. But imagine a whole world of people, leaders, you know, trying to make promises and they just can't follow through because they don't have the power, they don't have the intelligence to connect it all. They only segregate it to certain people, and they don't really know how to shift it around. And reality is fucking crazy ass thing, man, and for me, going back to the past and finding out where in the fuck everything's gone wrong is my key to freaking all of it, to be quite honest. I mean, some people might choose another way in life, to do their part, but that's what I'm trying to do.
No,
So
that's
my idea is,
awesome. That's awesome, man. I agree with that. If you can learn from the mistakes of the past,
well,
and
yeah, it's like this. Okay, wait, give me a moment. Sorry for over talking. It's like this, man. It's like you go into a therapy session, right? You talk a little bit about your childhood, things, maybe, there's some, disagreements that happen here and there, and, some troubled times. Just talking about it and just bringing it to the surface. It might not change any of that. You can't change any of that. You have to make peace with it. But just talking about it and bringing it up, and then it just, energy itself sort of just works things out and something happens in there. There is change, and it's so subtle. And so uncovering a past, something that's long gone, and just sort of recognizing something, it might bring about something. I don't know. It's just a theory, really. But I'm just trying to do my part, man, and trying to give something to the world. And my name is Brandon, and basically Brandon means the one who comes from the beacon hill, and it's like the guy at the lighthouse, I suppose. Basically, I'm trying to let people know about their past, and this is what's really happened. And if you care to follow this other path and go down a tangent into a destructive life, that's great. But here's how it really was from my perspective, and if you want to, have a fresher look on things, maybe it might lead to better things. I don't know. I'm really trying to clear up Christianity and give it a different understanding, because any true Christian would understand a Buddhist, and a Buddhist would understand a Christian. But in today's world, a Christian is, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm the best. Hey, I'm a Buddhist, I'm the best. I'm a Jew, I'm the best. Buddhists are probably about the only people that I know are basically at peace with everybody. But it's a crazy fucking world. I'm tired of war. I'm tired of people freaking copping attitude and bloodshed. It all has to end. And so the best way I know how to do it is to freaking show the world that Jesus was a writer, that there's scrolls out there, that fucking all of Europe, all the freaking young people were trying to find these scrolls throughout history, and it's just a matter of time before it pops to the surface. And when I've been learning these 15 years of going on my spiritual quest throughout this whole country, and I even went over to Iceland, one of the places that St. Brendan basically went to on his way over here to Newfoundland, or part of America. I, I don't know, man. I'm finding out that Europe secretly, perhaps this is my hypothesis, that Europe possibly was trying to do their best to find out what the fuck these little group of Irish monks, what were they doing, and what did they bring over here to this land which they call the Promised Land, the land of the saints, the sacred land. They brought something over here, and throughout time, Europe, the Knights Templar massed the fleet up to Scotland, and after that, the whole fleet of ships just disappeared, and they don't know where the hell. Well, my theory is they made their way to America because they went to a monastery in Scotland. They basically got an idea through documents, writings of these Irish monks and these, scholars throughout Ireland. in Scotland, and they basically said, all right, this is where we're going next. And I think a good portion of the Knights Templar probably made their way over to America, just like the Vikings. The Vikings came and pillaged all throughout Ireland, basically going into monasteries. They found information about land, across the ocean. So guess what they did? They left their little mark.
Well, let me say something. Let me say something real quick. The Knights Templar is fully funded by the Royal Empire. So
exactly, it's all. They're trying to look. The thing of it is, man, there's some type of forward motion to this land, and then when people, my idea is that when Maritimers throughout Europe, when they started finding out that there's a lot of activity coming over this way, then the freaking church says, you know what, things have got under control. Too many people know about our expeditions over there. What they did is they sent Christopher Columbus. Now the whole world believes that Christopher Columbus basically conquered this land, or basically put his little flag. But I believe throughout time, okay, you got the Dark Ages, right? A lot of pillaging, a lot of, reducing, money problems throughout Europe. Well, I believe the church basically made their way over to America and Mexico and all that, took gold, right? Brought gold back to Europe, replenished,
by raping, murdering, and pillaging.
Yeah, it's just, it's whacked out, man. And this is all hype. I don't have any proof whatsoever, but this is just an idea.
Well, it's one crucial detail that, of course they run secret operations and public and political operations. Yeah, I mean, it's like reconnaissance missions, I mean, the history is so watered down and diluted that.
Yeah.
But there's a private interest in that being that way, Brandon. It's like, we're particularly unpopular because we have original ideas and original thoughts.
Check it out, man. It's already been prophesized that Jewish, Muslim, and Christian will become one at some point. And I think that the way they're going to become one is that somehow. Okay, look, let me back up. The Muslims, Muhammad was a writer. He wrote poetry. Well, guess what? Guess where that guy came up with that idea? He came up with the idea because he knew, and people knew, that Jesus was a writer himself. Jesus hung around with the Essenes, the ones that wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay? So, the Muslims are the continuation of Christianity, but they went off their own path from the Jews. In a way, you understand? It's kind of fucked up, man, because they're all like three, but they're like the same. It's whacked out, and a big part of history that's messed up is that people don't know. People don't know that this possibility that he was a writer, that he wrote himself.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm just troubling, man.
If we could find a way to educate those three religions, or those people in those three religions, if we could find a simple way to educate that principle to them,
right,
then it could be immensely helpful. It could lead to a more solid degree of peace.
Dude, all I want is peace, man, and there's too many people who are confused about the whole Revelations and all this stuff, and I think we're getting too close to trying to destroy ourselves, and there's so many opportunities to move forward and to try to create something better. We have to understand that there's so many generations of people trying to manipulate someone's teachings, that all I wanted was to teach people about peace and love and fucking compassion, It's like, I didn't really understand Christianity until I studied Buddhism, man. I want to tell you, man, you were an instrumental part in my life to help myself to understand the whole concept of things. And I had on one side Christianity and on the other side Buddhism.
In the end, it's an ism that leads to no more isms.